Yep.
First, real fast, who's playing Krista and Steve?
I'll be Steve.
Okay, and then you want to be the observer, Crystal?
Yeah, I'll observe unless.
Okay.
Okay.
So our argument is the same as last time that you yelled at the kids, Steve? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Okay. Got it.
Awesome. Hi, Krista and Steve. It's good to see y'all again. I know we have done the dreams and conflict before. We've done that around Krista wanting to have more time outside and bonding time with the family and with Steve. And so I thought we could do that exercise again around just a situation with the kids when they are playing and Steve gets home and the reaction that he has to him and the conflict that that seems to bring up between the two of you. So if y'all want to go ahead, someone will be the speaker and the other the listener. Do y'all remember how to do that exercise?
Yep.
Steve, you can be the speaker.
All right. So I'm a doctor and I deal with patients all day long, and a lot of times, they come in with the cold and the sniffles, and it's like they want me to do something about it. And I'm like, hey, you're gonna be fine. Your kid's gonna be fine. And I don't know, just the days get long and I come home and I would just like some peace, at home. And I come home and the kids are just like at each other's throats fighting. And I'm about fixing problems. I'm like, I see a problem. I want to fix it. I want to get some resolution. If there's a conflict, let's get to the bottom of it. And sometimes I know I can come across a little aggressive, but it's like I just want some peace when I get home. I got plenty of bickering and whining and stuff at work with coworkers and patients and stuff, and I want to come home and have some peace and quiet. So, and I feel like then when I try to bring some peace and resolve the problems, Krista is just getting on my case about stuff, and it's like, hey, I'm just trying to do my best here. I feel I don't know, underappreciated, I suppose, in my role in the family, and I feel a little frustrated that my contribution isn't being received that well.
So what would be your dream within that situation?
I would love to be at home in peace. I want to live in a peaceful home.
Is there a deeper meaning behind that?
Well, my upbringing wasn't always the best, and there was chaos, and my father was a drunk, and it was just chaos at home, and I would just like to have some peace and order. I think that would just be wonderful.
And Chris, so hearing.
I'm hearing that Steve would like to come home to a peaceful home because in his past and in his house that he grew up in, his father was a drunk and there was not peace.
How do you feel, Steve, about what she just said?
Yeah. She summarized a little bit of it. Yeah. I don't know if she got the whole sense of it. I just feel, yeah, I'd like the peace, and I would like to be a part of the family, and I want to help. It just seems like my helping isn't always received all that warmly.
Well, how would you feel so there's another exercise we can do, and normally if we were in person, I would come and kneel next to you and look at Krista and speak for you to her. But since we're not in person, I'm just going to do it from here. How would you feel if I try and express to Krista what you're saying, and then you can try and say that after me and see how she receives that?
Sounds great.
Great. Okay, and let me know if these things aren't correct, if they don't resonate. Okay.
Okay.
So Krista, what Steve is trying to say is that he spends his, or I'm going to speak for him. So I'm going to say I, but just know I'm speaking for Steve. I spend all day with kids, and when I come home and my kids are feeling or they're acting very rambunctious and crazy, it feels stressful for me, and I'm needing to decompress and have some time to myself. And it doesn't mean I don't love the kids, doesn't mean that I don't want to spend time with them. It just means that I need a little space, and that would be helpful for me so that after I have that time, then I could connect with them more. Steve, how does that sound to you? Is there anything that I left off?
Yeah, no, that's definitely part of it. Wanting to come home to a peaceful house, and yeah, that's not really what I got growing up, and I want to help my family and, get to the bottom of these conflicts between the kids. They're just fighting each other and I want to help.
Mhm. So can you try and say again to Krista what it is that you're trying to express to her?
Yeah. Um, I would like to help resolve the conflicts between the children in a healthy way. And I understand that maybe my current modes and methods aren't maybe the most effective or well received, but I'm willing to work on them so we can have a peaceful house.
Krista, can you reflect back to him what he?
Yeah, that an ultimate goal is to have a peaceful house. And he understands that the way he might be handling that might not be the best, but he's willing to work on that and still contribute to the family in a good way.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Mhm. Mhm. And Steve, can I speak for you one more time
Sure.
to Krista? Okay. So, Krista, also, I do really want there to be peace with the kids. It's very important to me to not come in and be loud to them or like be angry with them, because I experienced that with my dad. And I don't want to replicate what he did. And so that's not my intention with the kids, that I really do want to offer some resolution to that situation.
Yeah. No, that's right.
Can you try and say that to her again, Steve, in your own
Yeah.
words?
Yeah. When I came home, or when my dad came home, he was angry and violent sometimes, and other times he's just completely aloof. Probably most of the time he's just aloof, not around and not involved. And I have a dream that my family, that I am involved, and my kids do love me and respect me. Um, and I love them, and I love Krista. I just want our family to be happy and peaceful.
Krista, what are you hearing?
Yeah, that his dad would, if he was even present, would be just a hot mess, and that he loves all of us, and that he does want to be a person to bring peace and be a part of the family.
Mhm. Steve, does that feel correct? Do you feel like
Yeah,
she's here?
I think so.
Mhm. Well, how do y'all feel about us switching and letting Krista have some time to share her dream within this situation?
All right.
Good.
Okay.
Do you want me to share my part of the situation?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. It's kind of funny that you want me to, because I feel like it's a lot better from him sharing already. So I think your exercise is working. I'll say that much, because I want him to be part of the kid's life too. It's just when Steve comes home and adds to the yelling that the kids are already doing, I feel like it escalates everything rather than de-escalating. So as long as he's open to finding another way to come home and help de-escalate and contribute, I would love that. I would love his help. I would love him to be a part and have a voice in his children's lives. Like, I would appreciate the help, and not to be alone in it. I just am not okay with the yelling, and it kind of sounds like he's at a place where he's not either.
Yeah.
So my dream would be that Steve would come home and bring peace to the household and de-escalate the kids and have a voice as well.
And Steve, what are you hearing when she shares all of that?
You feel like when I come home and yell at the kids, it just adds to their elevated moods and yelling and stuff, and it really doesn't help. But that you would definitely love to have me be a part of their lives, because you know, you want a good relationship between me and them, and yeah, it's just sometimes I feel attacked, when it's just we go back and forth on that, and I just feel like maybe my methods could be useful if given the right time. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, you want, excuse me. Sorry, got a little rambunctious there. Yeah,
Were you done, Steve, or did you have more to say?
I think that was about it.
Krista, what are you hearing when he shares all of that?
I'm hearing that he understands that I do want him to be part of the kids' lives and to bring peace and to help just to calm them when he gets home.
And Steve, can you speak more about the methods that your methods that you're wanting to use?
Yeah, I guess maybe I just don't know any other methods, and maybe if Krista had any ideas of how I could better interact with the kids, or maybe you, Pamela, I don't know. If not raising my voice, I feel like they just don't listen otherwise, unless I'm really shouting at them.
Well, can you ask Krista how she would like for you to try and approach them? What methods she would like for you to use?
That's a great idea. Krista, how can I de-escalate the children when they're at each other's throats?
Sure. I think helping with rewards might be good. Like when dad comes home, maybe we can set up some kind of a system that when you come home, they have to jump on the couch and all sit down quietly and maybe hang out with you for a little bit or something like that. And then if they do that, then they get like a treat, or they get to go outside and play, or they get tablet time. But maybe if we can create some kind of a routine, and then, Johnny will see that when Sally gets her treat and he doesn't, that'll probably motivate them to jump into shape,
So we have a routine when I get home. Like, they stop what they're doing, jump on the couch, tell me about their day or something, and get rewarded for it.
To start, I'm open to just get in the think tank and figure out what would be best for us, but it's an idea.
All right. Like, we could give it a shot.
Yeah, see what works.
Yeah.
You feel good about that?
Yeah. I feel like we're solving a problem.
Yeah, and I could add to it, like, you're an excellent researcher, so maybe there's something you can look up that might be helpful too, and feel free to bring it to the table as well.
That's a great idea. Ooh, how about we try some of the stuff we're learning in counseling, like attuning to our child and asking
No, it sounds
about
like
their
too much
feelings.
work.
Maybe we could try it. I don't know. I know I need a lot of practice with you, but I could be practicing with the kids too.
Yeah,
Ah, you
Yeah.
feel frustrated, Johnny, because Susie stole your toy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
fabulous.
I don't know. Maybe we could give it a shot.
Possibly.
Yeah. Well, y'all seem like you have connected during this exercise. How are you both feeling?
Awesome.
Good, encouraged.
Encouraged. Great. All right. Well, we can pick this up again next week. And y'all did great. It was good to see y'all again.
You too,
Thank
thanks.
you, Pamela.
Yeah. I just ended that early. I felt like I couldn't drag it out.
Ha! That's
I,
good.
I was like,
Okay.
I don't know. Y'all are doing great. I don't know where to go with this.
No, that's good.
So we're still recording so she can hear that, it's on me.
Oh, no worries.
Yeah, I thought we'd
How are
just
y'all
record the
feeling about
feedback
that?
session too.
Yeah, I thought it was good. I genuinely
was-
felt like half the problem got solved after you shared.
Yeah. Yeah, Pamela, I think you
Yeah.
did a good job when you were first working on speaking for me too, Krista, speaking for Steve. You probably could have spoke for Krista a little bit more, I think. Give words to her
Mhm.
feelings or have her talk a little bit more about her experience
Mhm.
and then kind of use
Mhm.
some of that Dan Wile intervention. And then I was trying to give you something to intervene on when I started talking using I statements, but I feel like this and I feel like that when I was supposed to be summarizing and reflecting. And you didn't stop me. And I was like, oh man, maybe I should just keep going.
No, I was highly dysregulated when I started this, so I knew I was like, this is not going to be my best work. So, and I could even tell when you were talking, I was like, I'm not here around it, and I know I'm not catching things. So, yeah, thank you for pointing that out. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it seems like you knew
And
the
I think with
exercise.
well, and I feel like with in my mind, like Krista articulating Krista, you were articulating things so well that it was like, do I need to use the exercise here? And that was why I didn't speak for you, because I felt like it wasn't like a struggle. Whereas with Steve, it was like, well, maybe there's like somewhere in here that you need to understand.
Sorry,
Yeah,
should have given you more to work with.
And when I think part of it too is like we're also in this space where we're trying to act like level 2. So if y'all are able to communicate better, then it makes sense that you are able to his point of view and reflect it back to him. Yeah. But thank you for feedback. Thank you for noticing the things that I missed. And for waiting for me again.
You're
For
welcome.
sure. Oh my gosh, we're graduating. Hallelujah.
We're done.
I got 6 assignments to go.
I'll give my feedback real quick.
Please do.
Yes, please.
Yeah,
I didn't know if you were going to say anything.
I think Pamela, you did good stepping into his shoes and trying to articulate, and you did it more than once where you were summarizing. So I feel like that's the epitome of what the exercise is for, is to just step into that person's shoes and empathize and say for your client what they're having trouble saying in a nice way or in a way that's absorbable for their partner to hear, because it sounds more of a attack maybe. And you're spot on. I felt like Rosaria didn't really give much to work with because she was really good in her communication. And so it's not like you could have come alongside her as much. Steve or Aaron gave you more to work with. There were maybe a couple things where I would have done it a little bit differently, and that was probably starting at the beginning, explaining the Dan Wild and not just the dreams in conflict, so that
Okay.
you could have permission to interrupt, because Aaron started off really like abrasive, and then you would have probably had to spend the rest of the session like dysregulating Krista because he's being so abrasive, right? And so that interruption would have just maybe been a little bit off had you interrupted, and not explained it at the front end, like, hey, if you're okay with it, I'm going to be interrupting, and just saying that at the beginning.
That's a great point.
Because otherwise I feel like the partner feels attacked if those type of words are allowed in session, like you this and you that at the beginning, and then
Yeah.
it just goes downhill from then on. So just the timing of it. But
Yeah. Thank you for that.
I couldn't tell you were dysregulated at all. You were so calm and composed, and you were able to empathize and
Not in here.
weave in and out from 2 different interventions, and I think like
Well, thank you.
Rosa gets like wife points. She must be a thrill to live with. So she's like, I'm calm. I got all the solutions in the world. Well, you're so good at looking stuff up. Why don't you just figure it out?
My husband is a researcher.
Mine too.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
I was like, hey, you can do this.
Yeah, then I was like, trying to, well, I know how I regulate my children. And so it's a lot of stuff I've learned in the last 2 years through Johnson Institute and counseling stuff.
Sure.
Attunement. You got to attune to your child.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Are we good? We're good to go?
I think
Yeah.
so.
All right. It was nice knowing you guys. Maybe see you
Yeah,
at
you guys.
Nice
graduation.
knowing y'all.
Bye. See you.